He froze as if the world had stopped spinning. The chilly breeze swept across the park, but all he could feel was the heat rising in his chest. The woman standing just a few feet away was holding a silver watch, the same model, the same scratched backside, the same broken clasp he thought he had lost forever. And the worst part was his daughter's curious little voice echoing in the air, forcing him to confront a past he wished he could erase. If you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps us keep making meaningful stories for you. The story of how that watch disappeared was one he never wanted to tell, but fate clearly had different plans. His name was Adam Walker, a single father living in Ohio, trying hard every day to make life normal for his 6-year-old daughter, Sophie. The park was their sacred escape, the place where Sophie laughed the loudest, and Adam could pretend everything was okay. But today, the past had quite literally shown up in someone else's hands. The woman holding the watch seemed unaware of the emotional storm brewing inside him. She studied it with a soft smile, turning the tarnished piece of metal over in her fingers, almost affectionately. Her long brown hair framed a calm, peaceful face, a face he recognized instantly. Her name was Jessica. 2 years ago, Jessica had been everything to him, the love of his life, the person who believed in him when no one else did. But Adam, drowning in the pressures of bills, late-night jobs, and a world that never stopped demanding more, had made a desperate mistake. He had started gambling, first small, then bigger, chasing the foolish belief that one miracle win would solve everything. Instead, the debt swallowed him whole. The more he lost, the more he lied. Jessica had found out the night the watch disappeared. She knew it was the last valuable thing he had left, passed down from his late father, the only heirloom that held genuine meaning. She begged him not to sell it, but he did anyway. And with that betrayal, she walked out of his life. Adam had hated himself ever since. Losing the watch felt like losing a piece of his father all over again. Losing Jessica felt like losing future happiness itself. Now she stood right there in the park, holding the guilt he carried everywhere. Sophie tugged on his arm again, her big hazel eyes full of innocence and confusion, asking a question she wasn't old enough to understand. "Daddy, is that your watch?" Adam swallowed hard, squeezing her tiny hand as if she was his lifeline. He could barely breathe, but he nodded slightly. His heart pounded like it wanted to break through his ribs and run. He wondered if Jessica had seen him yet, wondered if she would turn and leave again, taking that last piece of his past with her. But instead, she looked up. Their eyes locked, and time felt like a cruel loop, pulling them back into memories of laughter in coffee shops, hands held tightly on warm summer nights, dreams that once felt unshakable. Jessica blinked in surprise, clearly not expecting to run into him here. Her eyes softened when she noticed Sophie, who watched her with the same curiosity she reserved for fireflies or new toys. Jessica stepped closer, hesitating but determined. She held the watch out gently, like returning something sacred. Adam finally found his voice, though it shook as it escaped. "I thought I'd never see that again," he said, wishing his words sounded stronger. Jessica's eyes held a storm of emotions too, hurt, understanding, and maybe, just maybe, a small glimmer of hope. She explained that she had found the watch months after leaving him. She couldn't bear the thought of throwing it away, yet she couldn't bring herself to return it either. It had been a reminder, a painful one, of the love they once shared and the heartbreak that had torn it apart. Sophie looked between them, sensing something big was happening but not knowing what. Adam realized his daughter had no idea who Jessica was. He had never spoken ill of her, never explained the real reason she left. He didn't want Sophie to grow up thinking love was something fragile and cruel. He squared his shoulders, choosing honesty over fear. "I messed up," he admitted quietly, more to Jessica than to Sophie. "I made choices I'll always regret. But I changed. I had to, because of her." He looked down at his daughter. "She deserves better than who I was." Jessica listened, breathing slowly as she absorbed his words. She could see the difference in him, the steadier posture, the calmer tone, the way he held Sophie protectively and lovingly. The broken man she left behind had grown in the darkness, and now he was standing in the light again. She confessed that she hadn't stopped caring, no matter how hard she tried. Life had been lonely without him. But she was afraid to trust, afraid to be hurt again. Adam nodded. He understood that fear all too well. Sophie suddenly stepped forward, placing her tiny hand on Jessica's. It was such a small gesture, yet it cracked open something inside both adults. Sophie smiled shyly and asked if she liked the watch too. Jessica laughed softly, her eyes watering as she knelt to the child's level. She told her that the watch was special because it once belonged to someone who meant a lot to her. Adam's throat tightened. Hope was a dangerous thing, but right now he couldn't look away from it. The three of them sat on a park bench, and feelings long buried resurfaced, tentatively, gently, like seedlings breaking through frozen soil. They talked about the past, about mistakes, about forgiveness. Jessica spoke about her new start in a nearby town, how she had found stability but not joy. Adam shared how he quit gambling, paid off debts, and rebuilt his dignity because he refused to fail the little girl who gave him purpose each day. As the sky dimmed into a soft sunset glow, Jessica looked at him with trembling vulnerability. She asked if he still believed people deserved second chances. His response was simple: "I believe God gives them every day." That was when she placed the watch into his hand, no longer a reminder of loss but a symbol of healing. But Adam did something unexpected. He closed Jessica's fingers around it again, shaking his head gently. He told her it should stay with the person who kept it safe when he didn't deserve it, just like she once kept his heart safe too. Jessica's tears finally spilled over, and Adam let his own fall as well. Sophie hugged them both, laughing simply because hugs always felt good. There, in the quiet heart of a humble Ohio park, three lives began to stitch themselves back together. Slowly, carefully, beautifully. If this story moved you even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to support more heart-touching tales. Before we end, please comment below. Everyone deserves a second chance. Let's fill the world with love and forgiveness. As they walked away, side by side under the emerging evening stars, Adam held Sophie's hand in one palm and Jessica's in the other. His heart felt whole again. The past didn't control him anymore, because forgiveness, love, and faith had stepped in to rewrite the ending. And sometimes, the greatest miracles come disguised as ordinary moments, like a lost watch finding its way home again.